Eating can be one of life's greatest pleasures, but it's possible to have an addiction to food that harms your overall health. Hello, I'm Dr. David Salzberg, director of the Carillion Weight Loss Center and a bariatric surgeon. People with food addiction compulsively eat certain foods to the point where it's physically and mentally unhealthy. Typically, these foods are high in sugar, fat, salt, or some mixture of the three. Here, we're talking about foods like chips, fries, chocolate, cookies, white bread, pasta, and ice cream. But not always. People can become addicted to all sorts of foods. Depends on the person. The addictive foods activate the reward system in the brain, making us crave more of the same food. This causes a loop of craving and reward that leads to eating the same foods over and over, even when it's not good for us. In fact, food addiction involves the same areas of the brain as other addictions, including drugs. As with drugs, sometimes our brains develop a tolerance. They need more and more of the addictive food to satisfy the craving. But how can you tell if you have a food addiction, or whether you just really enjoy particular foods? Here are some of the possible warning signs to look out for. Eating certain foods even when you're not hungry. Obsessive cravings for these foods. Repeated binge eating. A pattern of trying and failing to stop overeating. Eating for emotional reasons, like stress, depression, or anger. Eating alone to hide your behavior. Or eating to the point where you're physically uncomfortable. It really isn't even about how much of a certain food you eat, but how big a space it takes up in your mind and in your life. Also, it's important to know that food addiction and obesity are not the same. They're separate but sometimes related conditions. Weight gain is a common side effect of food addiction, and it can lead to serious health problems linked to obesity. Other side effects of food addiction include digestive disorders, fatigue, depression, guilt, and lowered self-esteem. Remember that food addiction is not a personal failing. It's just a result of the way our brains are wired. The good news is that food addiction doesn't need to control your life. It is treatable, and ridding yourself of food addiction can be very liberating, like breaking the bonds of any other addiction. So, if you think you may have a food addiction, talk to your provider. They may refer you to a specialist or clinic for help. The sooner you reach out, the sooner you'll feel better. Thanks for watching.